Am I audible? My voice is audible to you? Okay, only seven students. Okay, they are joining. So let's wait 2 minutes. 1 minute for the others. So let's start it. So today's 3rd May, isn't it? So you have sessional exam, I think, from 5th. Do you have sessional exams? Have you got the timetable of sessional
Yes,
exam?
ma'am.
So from 5th to 7th, there will be sessional exams. Okay, and sessional exams it will help in the form of Google form. Okay, 1 hour. You will get 1 hour and 30 marks. Total marks is 30. Okay, and for exam in irrigation engineering, my syllabus is up to today's class. Okay, today I'll give you some notes, and my syllabus is up to today's class. Okay, so last class, what did we discuss? We have discussed about duty, delta, and there is one relation between duty and delta. isn't it? What was that? Do you remember? Do you remember what was the relation between duty and delta? D equal to what? 8.8.64 divided by delta, isn't it? So that is the equation, relationship between duty and delta. What is duty? Duty is the amount of water added, okay? And delta is the area. Am I not, if I am not wrong? Okay, let us share my screen. Okay, last class we have discussed about dt and delta, and I have not shared any numerical problems. So let's do a numerical problem. Okay, so here it is given that find the delta for the sugar cane when its duty is 230 hectares per cubic on the field. Okay, the duty means the area irrigated, amount of area to be irrigated, that is duty. 730 hectares per cubic area on the field, and the base period for crop is 110 days. Okay, the base period is 110. So give in this problem it is given D 730 hectare per cubic. The unit of duty is always hectare per cubic, okay? And unit of B is 110 days base period. What is base period? It is the time period uh, at which the water is irrigated to the field. Okay, that is the base period. And delta, we have to find the delta. So we have to find the delta. Okay, what is the relation between delta and duty? We have delta equal to delta equal to 8.64 b base period divided by d, and delta is the unit of delta is meter or centimeter. Okay, so put the value of b and d here. So 8.64 b, what is b? 110. 110 divided by there should be one divided symbol. B is 110 divided by 730. Okay, which is equal to 8.64 into 110 in 100, same way 2 times it is given. So we will get 1.1301 meter. If you convert it to centimeter, it will be 130.1 centimeter. Okay, so the delta for the sugar cane will be 130.1 centimeter. Okay, the delta for sugar cane will be 130 centimeter. Okay, you try more problems based on this duty delta relationship. Okay, sometimes you may have to find out the base period, sometimes delta, sometimes duty. Okay, so you remember the relation. delta equal to 8.64 B divided by D. Okay. Okay. Let's start the next topic, that is our irrigation methods. What are the irrigation methods? In the first class, I have shared one video related to irrigation methods, and in that video, it shows showing some ancient irrigation methods. Okay, in ancient times, how irrigation is done. So, first one is your tank irrigation. So, in tank irrigation, generally tank irrigation is adopted. What is a tank? All of you know it is a reservoir for irrigation or a small lake or a pool made by damming the valley of a stream to retain the monsoon rain. Okay? Monsoon rain for later use. It accounts for approximately 3% of the net irrigated area in India. So, where it is adopted? Tank irrigation is popular in peninsular plateau area where Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu are the leading. Someone have left the meeting. Okay, Bemisal Demarma, I don't know why every day he left the meeting. Okay, I am giving him absent today. Bemisal is always whenever I have started meeting, he left the meeting. That is not the way. In Bemisal again want to join, but I'm not giving him a chance. So today he is absent. So those who want to leave, please leave before I have started. Bemishal, what's his roll number? Someone please tell me. What is the roll number of Bemishal Debarma? Can you tell me? 40. Okay, for roll number 40 is absent. Last class also he left the left meeting. I don't know why. I think he intentionally he used to do this. I think he's not want to do classes or whatever. I think I have shared the notes. Why he don't want to attend the classes. That's not a proper way. Okay. So last class also I have seen he left the meeting. Those who left meeting, I always I have the notification. Okay, I will get the notification whenever someone left without any reason. Okay, so Andhra Pradesh has tank irrigation is popular in peninsular plateau area where Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu are the leading states. Okay, and um, Andhra Pradesh has the largest 29% of the tank irrigation in India, followed by Tamil Nadu. Tanks are known as Eri in Tamil, and temple of tanks are known as Kulam. Okay. So kinds of tank. What are the kind of tank they have used? So the tanks are of two kinds. One is system tanks and non-system tanks. The canal fed tanks are known as system tanks, which are exclusively under the management of Public Works Department. And the system tanks are fed with water from rivers and run off through diverse ways, feeder channels, and surface flow. System tanks are a minority of tanks that are supplied from major storage, that is, canal irrigation system or from perennial rivers. Do you know what is the perennial rivers? Perennial river means those rivers in which most of the seasons water is there. Water is flowing throughout all of the year. That is called perennial river. That type of rivers is known as perennial river. Next, the rain-fed tanks are known as non-system tanks. my voice is clear or not? My voice is clear? Okay. And non-system tanks, which command area below 40 hectares, are coming under the control of panchayat unions. Okay. It is mainly in the peninsular region due to the following reasons. Why it is used in peninsular region? The undulating relief, the hard rocks make it difficult. Okay, most of the rivers are seasonal. That means there are many streams which become torrential during the rainy season. And also the one way is to use the water impound by constructing barns or building tanks. Also, it is easy to collect rainwater in natural and artificial pits because of impermeable rocks, scattered nature of agricultural fields. Next, there are some merits of this type of tanks. Then merits are most of the tanks are natural and do not involve cost for their construction. Next is independent chores for an individual farmer or a small group of farmers. Longer lifespan can be used for fishing also. Next is demerits. Depends on rain and these tanks may dry up during dry season. And another demerits may be silting of the beds and it requires larger area. It requires evaporation losses. Sometimes there might be need to lift the water to take into the field. He left out a meeting and he give me some excuses. Okay, wells and tube wells. And next is well. In irrigation, we can use wells and sometimes tube wells. A well is all of know what is a well. An ordinary well is about 3 to 5 meters deep, but deeper wells may be up to 15 meters are also used. This method of irrigation has been used in India from time immemorial. Various methods are used to leave the groundwater from the well. Some of the widely used methods are Persian well, Rehet Kharas, or Mott, and Thingli, that is labor. A tube well is deeper well, generally over 15 meters deep, from where water is lifted with the help of a pumping set operated by an electric motors or a diesel engine. Okay. Okay, so well irrigate deep well. I think you can able to hear my voice. Okay, a tube well is deeper well, generally over 15 meters deep, from which water is lifted with the help of a pumping set operated by an electric motor or a diesel engine. So, well irrigation. Well irrigation is gradually giving way to energized wells. But there are many wells still in use where electricity is not available or the farmers are too poor to afford diesel oil. This method of irrigation is popular in those areas where sufficient sweet groundwater is available, and particularly in those areas where permeable rock structure is available. That means where there is a groundwater percolation. In the type of area, well irrigation is adopted. Therefore, wells are seen more in areas with alluvial soil, regular soil, etc., and less seen in rocky terrain or mountainous. That means well irrigation we cannot adopt in mountain or hilly areas. Okay. These areas include a large part of the Great Northern Plains, deltic region of the Mahanandi and Godavari and Krishna Kaveri, parts of the Narmada and Tapi. However, the greater part of peninsular India. Okay, so in India, in this area we have adopted well irrigation. UP, Rajasthan, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh account for three-fourths of the total well irrigated area. So, marriage and demarriage. Let's move to the marriage and demarriage. One of the marriage is it is a simplest form of irrigation, and next is it is cheapest. Next one is well is an independent source of irrigation and can be used as and when a necessity arises. Canal irrigation, on the other hand, it is controlled by other agencies and cannot be used at will. Some groundwater salts are useful for crops, does not lead to sanitization and flooding problem. Okay. Oh, sorry. Salinization and flooding problem. And next is there is a limit to the extent of canal irrigation beyond the tail end of canal, while a well can be dug at any convenient place. And demerits of this irrigation, only limited area can be irrigated. Normally, a well can irrigate 1 to 8 hectares of land, not suitable for dry seasons. Why? Because there in dry season there will be no water. That's why. Overuse may lead to lowering of water table. Okay. Let's. Okay. Can you see my screen? My screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
The irrigation methods. Let's classify irrigation methods. One is surface irrigation and subsurface. These are the main classification of irrigation. And next one is sprinkler and drip. And next one is in surface irrigation, we have border irrigation, check basins, furrow method. These are the three types of surface irrigation. Okay, and there are two types of border: straight and contour. Again, in check basin types, there are rectangular check basins. There may be contour check basins, and another type is ring check basins. And third surface irrigation method is furrow method. Next is sprinkler irrigation method. In sprinkler, we have rotating head and perforated pipe. Two types of methods. And again, furrows in furrow method, which is a surface irrigation. Furrow method is a surface irrigation. There may be deep furrow method and there may be corrugation furrow method. In the furrow method, again, it can classify into straight and contour type. Straight and contour. Straight one again classified as level. Another one is graded. So dear, these are the various methods of surface and subsurface irrigation. Okay, let's see the details one by one. So you have to remember like what are the surface irrigation methods. Then you have to answer like border, check basins, furrows. What are the check basins? Uh, what are the check basins? It may be regular. Sorry, it may be rectangular, contour, and ring like that. And what are the furrow methods? Deep furrow method, and corrugation method. Okay. Next, surface irrigation. So what is surface irrigation? Surface irrigation is that group of application techniques where water is applied and distributed over the soil surface by gravity method. By gravity, water is directly laid to the surface. It is by far the most common form of irrigation throughout the world and has been practiced in many areas virtually unchanged for thousands of years. And surface irrigations, there are four variations under this method. Number one is flooding. Next one is bed or border method. Third one is basin method. And there may be ring basin and basin. Furrow methods. Ridge and furrows, broad ridges and raised beds. So there are the four variation of four types of surface irrigation. Number one is flooding. So flooding means it is consists of opening a water channel in a plot or field so that water can flow freely in all directions and cover the surface of the land in a continuous sheet. It is most inefficient method of irrigation as only 20% of water is actually used by plants. The rest being lost as runoff, seepage and evaporation. And next one is water distribution is very uneven and crop growth is not uniform here. It is suitable for uneven land where the cost of leveling is high and where it's cheap and abundant supply of water is available. It is unsuitable for crops that are sensitive to waterlogging. The method is suitable where broad cast crops, particularly pastures, alfalfa, peas, and small grains are produced. Adoption, where this flooding is adopted, an abundant supply of water is required for flooding. So, in those areas where there is a continuous supply of water, close growing crops, soils that do not erode easily, and soil that is permeable, irregular topography, areas where water is cheap. So there are some advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are it can be used on shallow soils and can be can be applicable where expense of leveling is great. Installation and operation costs are low. System is not damaged by livestock and does not interfere with use of farm implements. These advantages. What are the disadvantages of flooding method? Excessive loss of water by run and deep percolation, excessive soil erosion on steep land, fertilization and FYM are eroded from soil. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of flooding method. Next one is bed or border method. Bed or border method. So in bed and border method, it is generally known as Sara and flat beds or check basins. Okay. So in this type of irrigation method, the field is level and divided into small beds surrounded by bands of 15 to 30 centimeter high. Small irrigation channels are provided between two adjacent rows of beds, and the length of the bed varies from 30 meter to loamy soils. 30 meters for loamy soils. Do you know what is loamy soil? Loamy soil is loamy soils means that means sandy soil. Okay, the soils which contains sand and silt, the that type of soil is known as loamy soils. So the length of bed varies 30 meters for loamy soils and 90 meters for clay soil. Okay, the weight is so adjusted as to permit the water to flow evenly and with the land uniformly. For the high value crops, the beds may be still smaller, especially where water is costly and not very abundant. This method is adopted to most soil textures except sandy soils, and it is suitable for high value crops. It requires leveled land. Next is it is more efficient in the use of water and ensures its uniform application. It is suitable for crops planted in lines or sown by broadcast. Though the initial cost is high, it requires less labor and low maintenance cost. This may be all called a sort of Sara method followed by locally in Maharashtra, but the Saras are to be formed in these batches are much longer than broader method. Next is types of border irrigation. Two types of borders are formed, straight borders and contour border. These are the border strips. These borders are formed along the general slope of the field. These are preferred when field can be leveled or given a gentle slope economically. So, in figure you can see there are some borders. These are the border strips where water is added from one main channel. Okay, and here the crops are grown. Contour borders. These are formed across the general slope of the field and are preferred when land slope exceeds the safe limits. Right. So in this figure you can see the flooding methods. Okay, fill ditch or the main channel, and the channel is applied to the field, And the distance between two lateral mains to the sub branch mains are generally 15 to 45 meters. Okay, and water is added directly. This is the border strip method. These are the borders, and here the water is applied from a main channel. Next, where contour border irrigation is adopted, as fields are undulating and require a lot of earthwork to level. Economically, leveling is not possible. Design criteria for both are not different. Where it is adopted, uh, where a large supply of water is available, and next, most soil textures including sandy loams and clays. Soil at least 90 centimeter deep, suitable for close growing crops. Advantages of this method: fairly large supply of water is needed. Land must be leveled, suited only to soils that do not readily disperse. Next one is drainage must be provided. Okay. So next, move to the basin irrigation. This method is suitable for orchids and other high value crops where the size of the plot to be irrigated is very small. A basin may be square, rectangular, or circular type. So a variation in this method, that means ring and basin, is commonly used for irrigating fruit trees. A small band of 15 to 22 centimeter high is formed around the stump of the tree at a distance of about 30 to 60 centimeter to keep the soil dry. The height of the outer band varies depending upon the depth of water proposed to retain, and basin irrigation also requires level land. So basin also requires leveled land and not suitable for all type of soil. It is also efficient in the use of water, but its initial cost is high. There are many variations in its use. Okay, bands or ridges are constructed around the areas forming basins within which the irrigation water can be controlled. Check basin check basin types may be rectangular, contour, and ring basin. Next, we have how many contour forming criteria of surface irrigation, physical factor, soil parameter. So, mm, what is the time? 2:45. At 3 p.m., all of you join again. Okay. So let me take the attendance. Roll number 54. 54,
Yes, ma'am.
28,
Yes, ma'am.
106,
Present, ma'am.
02, 112, 14, 70,
Ma'am, 14.
14, 70 present. Okay. Uh, 33, 09, 07.
Yes, ma'am. 07 present.
Okay. 72, 75,
Present, ma'am,
13.
75.
Okay. Given 30, 94,
Present, ma'am.
78, 73, 12, 80.
Ma'am, 12 present.
Present, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. 84,
Present, ma'am.
71,
Present.
52,
Present, ma'am.
90,
Present, ma'am. 90.
13,
And 13 present.
26,
Present, ma'am.
100,
Yes, ma'am.
22, 24, 74.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. 24.
Ma'am, 74. Present.
Ma'am, 70.
Ma'am, 72 present.
Ma'am, 94
Okay,
present.
given
Ma'am, 70.
Ma'am, 74.
74.
Ma'am, roll
Oh,
number 2.
2
94,
present.
ma'am.
Okay, okay.
94.
So join
Ma'am,
at 3
72
p.m. Okay,
present.
72 given. I have given to
94, ma'am.
all. Okay, noted. So next, all of you join at 3 p.m. Okay.
Ma'am, 112.
Roll number 2 also.